With the release of Season 17 right around the corner and an update to one of our current light subclasses, which is probably going to be Solar 3.0, that means that a lot of things are about to change. Once Void 3.0 launched, we started to see a rise of popularity, and we're probably going to see the exact same as Solar 3.0. But what happens if you still want to play Void 3.0 when the new season launches? Is it still going to be viable, or are you just going to go on and use the newer stuff? So with what we know so far, none of the aspects or fragments are going to change in any way for PvE, but what does matter is that a lot of these seasonal artifact mods are going to go away. Some of these mods are crucial to make Void 3.0 extremely good right now, and without those, you're going to have to build around that to make it usable. So with everybody that wants to play a Void 3.0 subclass with the new season launching, what if I told you I've already crafted a build for you guys, and I really think you guys are going to enjoy this. It's extremely strong, and it's still going to take advantage of volatile rounds and everything that you already know and love with Void 3.0, just without the artifact mods like Volatile Flow, Devouring Depths, Overload Grenades, and heck, even things like our one-cost Font of Might. So if you guys do enjoy this and you're looking forward to Season 17 and all the brand new Destiny content, be sure to stick around the channel, consider subscribing, dropping a like, and let's just jump right into this. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Rez, and first off, let's just quickly talk about our weaponry. Our main weapon is going to be the Tidal, or any void energy based primary, so we can take advantage of volatile rounds. The Tidal is just pretty much the best in class SMG due to its classic contender trait where you get class ability energy when you kill enemies with this weapon. So it's going to be very good for spamming things like your Rift, which is going to pair really well with some of our aspects. And you can also run things like a void power weapon. I'm using Threaded Needle to do a lot of damage because we're going to be using things like volatile rounds, and we're still going to be taking Font of Might. Then for primary, I just have Wither Horde equipped, but you can kind of again run whatever. Things like Arbalest is going to get nerfed next season, and maybe there'll even be a new exotic that you want to use. But just for the main part, make sure you have a void primary weapon in your energy slot. Now, getting into subclass, obviously we're going to be taking Voidwalker. I do run Cataclysm Nova Bomb because this does do the most damage, but I'm going to be running Empowering Rift and Scatter Grenades. We'll get into Scatter Grenades in 1 second, but our aspects are going to be Feed the Void and Child of the Old Gods. Feed the Void is obviously going to give us Devour whenever we get a kill with our abilities. Then Child of the Old Gods is going to spawn that little Void buddy that goes out and will debuff enemies. And since you're running Empowering Rift, it is actually going to heal you as it starts to drain the enemies down. Now for fragments, I'm going to be running Echo of Explosion. So whenever we get a Void ability kill, we're going to make enemies explode. I'm going to be running Echo of Undermining, so all my grenades will weaken enemies. Now I'm going to be running Echo of Instability. So whenever we defeat targets with our grenades, we're going to grant volatile rounds to our void weapons. This is how we're going to be taking advantage of volatile rounds since our mods are going to be going away. Then Echo of Obscurity, so Finisher's Final Blows will grant invisibility. The main thing is this is giving me plus 10 recovery, which is very good, but also just having that finisher to grant invisibility is good for survivability if you are in the heat of things and just need to get out of a battle. So that is it for the subclass. Getting over to the armor, we're going to be running Nothing Manacles, and this is what I was talking about. Nothing Manacles basically is going to give you a second scatter grenade charge, and it's going to enable tracking for your scatter grenade projectiles. This is extremely strong paired with scatter grenade because it pretty much is always going to guarantee you a kill, which again will proc your volatile rounds because of your fragment Echo of Instability. You're going to have 2 grenade charges that will insta kill an enemy, can act clear very well, and since you have Devour proc pretty much at all times, you're always going to be getting these grenades back over and over again, and you can keep the loop going for your volatile rounds. Now obviously, since this is a grenade focused build, we're going to be running 100 discipline. I am also running 100 recovery, so I can always keep my Child of the Old Gods up on top of my grenades, and with things like the Tidal and Classic Contender, it makes that even easier to do. So between have 100 recovery, 100 discipline, Devour, and Classic Contender, you're always going to have your Rift and your grenades, which is in return always going to be proccing things like volatile rounds. Now to take advantage of everything else, let's get into our mods. We are going to be running Font of Might. This is going to give you a damage boost whenever you pick up an Elemental Well that matches your subclass type. This is going to cost 4 points now due to the fact that our artifact mod is going to be going away in Season 17. Taking the 4-point one does the exact same thing though, and getting this damage boost for things like your Tidal or even your Threaded Needle or whatever void heavy weapon you're using is going to be huge. You get a very, very good chunk of damage, and it is pretty much always recommended taking it since it is so easy to spawn elemental wells. Now to spawn elemental wells, I'm going to be taking elemental ordnance. So whenever I defeat an enemy with a grenade, I'm now going to spawn 1 elemental well. Since I'm always going to be killing enemies with grenade to reproc volatile rounds, we're also going to be spawning elemental wells now, which is in return obviously going to proc things like Font of Might. Now I'm also going to be taking Reaping Wellmaker. This is another way I can spawn wells whenever I cast a Rift. and then I kill the enemy after that rift is being cast, it is going to spawn a void elemental well. Because not only is this proccing your font to might over and over again, it is also giving you ability energy, and since it does match your subclass type, you're getting ability energy for all three, and it is constantly giving your grenades and rift back on top of everything else that I've already talked about. Now, I'm also going to be running bountiful wells, so I'm essentially going to spawn 2 wells now instead of 1. So whenever I get a grenade kill, I will spawn 2 elemental wells, and then whenever I get a kill after I cast my rift, I will spawn 2 elemental wells. It's very, very good. You're going to have elemental wells everywhere, which is obviously going to, again, constantly proc font to might and give you a ton of energy back for your class ability and grenade. Then finally, to make things even easier, I'm just running seeking wells. So all those wells I'm going to be creating, they're going to track to me, and I don't really even have to run and pick them up. If you do want to go pick them up yourself, you can replace this mod. This is just basically an ease of use mod. Taking something like Wall of Tenacity could also be extremely strong just to give you that damage reduction, since you're going to be spawning void elemental walls everywhere. And even if you want to replace things like Reaper Wallmaker to take Wall of Tenacity, you can do that as well. But I just like having a bunch of wells everywhere so I can get a whole lot of energy, so I can constantly keep reproccing volatile rounds on something like the title. Now for other mods, I just have ammo finders for a power weapon, you know, reloaders for whatever my main weapon is. This will probably be changed out to whatever our seasonal mods are going to be, you know, for our champions. Then also things like a concussive dampener and some rifle reserves, linear fusion scavenger. Then I have 2 bombers on here, which is good because whenever I cast a rift, I'm going to be getting grenade energy back. And since obviously we're going to have pretty much infinite of both of those, this is going to work even better to get more grenades back. If you want to take something like explosive finisher, this could be very interesting because whenever you finish an enemy, it will require 1/5 of your super energy, but it's going to instantly restore your grenade, which is very, very good. You also get that visibility because you finish somebody, which again is obviously going to just kind of reproc the flow. If you ever kind of get to a point where you don't have any cooldowns, you can just equip this real quick, get a finisher, and then your flow is going to start coming back. Now obviously once we get our new artifact, there may be mods that will completely change the way this is set up, but as of now, these are just base mods that are always in the game, so you can't really do anything super crazy with it. But I think this is a great base for starting it off and starting to level your artifact up. And if you are going to stick to Void 3.0 on the Warlock, this is the build I would definitely recommend. But that is pretty much it for the build. I will have a link to this build in dim if you guys would like to go try to get all this gear for yourself or see it over there. I know Void 3.0 is going to definitely get a little weaker with the artifact mods going away, but as you can see from the gameplay, I really do think that this build is going to be extremely strong if you do want to stick to Void 3.0 and kind of ignore Solar 3.0, or just have a Void 3.0 backup if there ever is a Void burn activity or anything like that. I really think this is going to shine. Let me know how you feel about this build, and maybe Void 3.0 taking a backseat once Solar 3.0 launches. But anyway, I think that's going to be all for me. I really hope y'all enjoyed the build. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.